And now to the UK, where the Labour Party has plunged into crisis following the resignation of a group of shadow ministers in the wake of Britain's vote to leave the European Union. Now, 6 cabinet members have submitted their resignations to Jeremy Corbyn. They are Heidi Alexander, Ian Murray, Gloria de Piero, Lillian Greenwood, Lucy Powell and Kerry McCarthy. The group said Corbyn's weak performance in the run-up to the EU referendum forced them to step down. Corbyn is facing mounting criticism because 37% of Labour supporters voted against the party's advice to remain in the EU. On Saturday, 2 Labour MPs also proposed a vote of no confidence against Corbyn for similar reasons. Shadow Foreign Secretary Hillary Benn was sacked after he defended his stance that Jeremy Corbyn is failing and should resign.
But it is increasingly widely felt that the leadership that we currently have is not working. And in those circumstances, we would not be doing our job if we didn't say that openly and honestly, and that is what I've done.
Benn added that Jeremy Corbyn's resignation would benefit him and the party both. Meanwhile, a spokesman for Corbyn says he has no intention to resign and that those who see Corbyn's departure have no plan for the party's future. More than 175,000 people have signed an online petition backing the Labour leader, who was elected in a landslide victory last September. Let's cross over to Bristol, joined by investigative journalist Tony Gosling. Thank you so much for being with us. Well, lots of fallout after the Brexit. Let's look at the Labour Party first of all. Your perspective, do you think that Jeremy Corbyn is going to last or not as the leader?
Well, I mean, just look at the figures. We've had 175,000 people saying Jeremy Corbyn should stay in this petition and 8 MPs leaving. I mean, the reason that they've left is because the Shadow Foreign Secretary Hillary Benn said that Jeremy Corbyn is not a leader. Now, how can he carry on being the leader of the opposition and allowing somebody who's in a senior shadow post, like Shadow Foreign Secretary, to say something like that? Of course, Corbyn had to sack Hillary Benn, and as a result, various other Blairite loyalists to Hillary Benn, who, by the way, was the cheerleader in the House of Commons from the Labour side on the vote to bomb Syria last year, which basically is a tiny minority of an elite only would go along with that. So it's clear that Hillary Benn and those that have also resigned alongside him after his sacking are really part of a kind of elite that really are not interested in what ordinary Labour Party members, let alone the rest of society, want to hear. But let's get it in perspective. 21 of Jeremy Corbyn's shadow cabinet are still in post today and still backing him, and yet 8 have left, including 1 who was sacked. So actually only 7 have left. So what we've got here is about a third of the shadow cabinet have gone, and some would say good riddance. Those 175,000 would probably say that, because these people represent what is actually a legacy from the Blair years. They're known as the Blairites. One that's Bristol MP that's gone is Kerry McCarthy. She's Shadow Agriculture Minister, but she's also a vegan. So she won't eat a lot of the products that the farmers in Britain grow every day. So to many farmers, for example, on the ground here in Britain, she wasn't really a credible agriculture secretary anyway. And that's what we're looking at, is effectively, I think, a minority of Blairite MPs who are big supporters of Tony Blair are slowly kind of falling away. And I think Jeremy Corbyn will survive all this because he's still got the massive support of the vast majority of people in the Labour Party. This has just been an attempt to have a coup against him by the City of London and their supporters, which Hillary Benn and the others that have gone today represent.
At the end of the day, do you think that this situation that the Labour Party is going through right now can actually be more positive than negative for the party?
Yes, I think so. And one of the interesting things that might happen is what happened in New Zealand many years ago. It's when you've got a kind of remnant, a rump, if you want, of people who aren't part of the grassroots supporters of a political party on the left, like the Labour Party, is they may be forced to split away. So we might see a kind of split a bit like the Brexit versus Remain split that's been in the Conservative Party go on in the Labour Party, and the loyalists to Corbyn will be, for example, they will get a promotion through the party, and those that have been seen by some today as traitors to the party. I mean, for example, how can your foreign secretary say this guy's not a leader? You can't allow someone to say that because that leader has been voted there by the membership of the entire party, not just by Hillary Benn. So it may be that that these people almost kind of disappear off into history, as Tony Blair has. And by the way, we've got the Chilcot report coming out any time now after the referendum on the Brexit, which will point the finger at a lot of the people who are the Blairite supporters within the Labour Party. So these people, in a way, may be toast after the Chilcot report comes out anyway.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us out of Bristol. Mr. Tony Gosling, investigative journalist.